please.
Bonnie, get me Carl Wilson in the superintendent's office. Please. Want to see me?
Just for a second.
Come on. Oh, boy.
Line 1, Mr. Kaufman. Mr. Wilson.
This is something else. This is really something else. Hello, Carl. Carl. Look, I'm afraid it can't be done. No, that would be 5 more in each room, and that would... Yes, I can hold Carl. These geniuses downtown, they think they can just send over the desks and we can shove them in the rooms with a kid attached to each one. Now, look, Carl, you know what we're running here now, don't you? We're anywhere from 4 to 6 over the limit. How many is Lowell taking? How many to Garfield? Oh, big deal, Carl. 10 less. 10. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Because Lowell and Garfield didn't squawk, I'm supposed to take 385 transfers as calmly as if they were a few new cracks in the plaster. Listen, as far as cracks in the plaster are concerned... Yes, I can hold, Carl.
How soon?
Hmm?
How soon?
Monday. Now, look. Carl, look, this is tough. I mean, those teachers are overloaded now. I can't say yes to a thing like this. At least give me a chance to come down and yell at you in person. Now, wait a minute, Carl. Don't say it's final. Well, of course I don't want to dump them in the streets, Carl. This is terrible. Well, if there's no other way, what else? Oh, I don't want to hear you say thank you, Carl. I want to hear you say, I owe you one, Seymour. Let me hear it. I owe you one, Seymour. That's right, and it better be a beauty, Carl. There's a lot of things this school needs, especially now. Carl, let me put you on a hold. Forever.
Good morning, Mr. Kaufman. Don't you love these mornings now that the days are getting longer? It's good not to have to turn the lights on when you get up. You know, the real advantage is the extra time I have to work on my lesson plans.
Excuse me.
Take today's lesson plan, for example. Hey, you're not really interested in my lesson plan, are you?
Oh, well, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Are you adding more students to the class, Mr. Kaufman?
Oh, no, I was just bored, and it was either move the furniture or change my hairstyle.
You're adding students to the class.
Mr. Kaufman, there will be more of us students in here.
You're a good boy, Richie.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. Don't forget, 12 o'clock.
Right. Oh, get your racket restrung, because I don't want any excuses when I take the set.
My racket? I was going to give you a break and play with my mandolin. Oh, while I'm beating you, I'll explain about those extra chairs.
Well, this should be an interesting day.
What this country needs is 2 cars in every garage and 2 desks for every student.
Man, I told you, leave these desks together in the dark all night, and this kind of thing happens.
What's this all about, Mr. Dixon?
I don't know. Miss Johnson?
Well, Mr. Kaufman and I were discussing it a while ago.
And?
Well, he told me we were getting some new students.
Man, pretty soon they're gonna have you teaching in a stadium with a bullhorn.
You might be right, Jason.
5 new cherubs in every class. 5!
What started all this?
Rezoning, that new King Arthur housing development.
The one with the phony moat?
With our luck, there won't be a crocodile in it. We get everything east of Prince Valiant Way.
That's not all you're getting. Tonight's PTA night, remember? They're not gonna like this either.
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that. Oh, I'm just going to have to think of some way to sneak it past them, that's all.
I don't know. What about the Teaching Standards Committee?
Oh, the Teaching Standards Committee, the vigilantes. Look, this thing is already settled. It's an irrevocable, unchangeable decision. Now, what good is it going to do to get the PTA all souped up about it? All that's going to do is cut into my workday with irate calls and seeing parents. Not to mention the fact that there's always a couple of nuts with a drink or two in them that want to call my house 11, 12 o'clock at night.
Well, it may be an irrevocable decision, but I still think the committee will want to talk about it.
Who's the new chairman?
Pete Dixon.
Pete? Good old Pete?
Well, you may know a good old Pete I don't. The one I know was pretty sore about the size of his class last September.
Oh, don't worry about Pete. Pete is no problem. Well, there's one good thing about the PTA. Trouble can only come from one of two sources. Parents and teachers. That's it.
You can't win them all, man.
Don't you have some studying to do? Sure hurts to lose to a guy with nothing but dink shots and high lobs.
I don't know what you're complaining about. I'm the one with the fantastic win record, remember? But you flashy types get to endorse all the tennis rackets. There's no justice.
That's okay. I want another crack at you tomorrow. And no more of this lunch hour time limit stuff either. After school. Sons are better, too.
I'm yours. 4 o'clock. Actually, I was going to throw the game today to put you in a good mood.
If it's about those 5 desks in my room, you can put me in a good mood by telling me we're going to use them for firewood.
You know, Pete, you don't start out as a principal. I was a teacher myself for quite a while. I know how difficult a big class can be.
A big class, yes, but this is impossible.
I know, but believe me, there's nothing that can be done about it. There's no point in fighting it.
If you don't fight it, then you're handing out diplomas that don't mean anything. Pieces of paper that say that the kids have got an education. And they don't have one when classes get that big.
Pete, how long have you known me? I feel the same way about this thing as you do. But there's nothing I can do about it. It's over. Now, look, let me get down to what I've been building up to all along anyhow. I understand you're the new head of the Teaching Standards Committee. I want to ask you to cool it for me at the PTA tonight. I mean, let me just kind of brush through it. There's no point in getting the parents all fired up.
But that's what the PTA is all about. To help the learning process any way it can.
Pete, I'm trying to tell you, the decision is made. It's all over. I know when I can't win. Now, if your committee brings down the parents on my head for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I don't see how that can help the learning process. Do you? I want to ask you to cool it for me at the PTA.
Go through.
I didn't let it parents on my head for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Just wave at it. Now, I hate to put it on. Pete, as a personal favor, I'm asking you to help me out. Let me do it. Just wave at it. Now,
It's asking an awful lot.
if it was a little, I wouldn't have to ask. Think about it. A little, I wouldn't have to ask.
Can you imagine what I thought?
That one's cream, no sugar.
Oh, thank you, dear. I mean, there were all those empty desks, and I just stood there. I just stood there and looked.
Sugar only.
Oh, thank you, Al.
I'm 3 more than I'm supposed to already, right? Well, and you know, I don't have one of those more. I stood there. I just stood there and looked.
You're too modest. I never have any trouble hearing you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I think it's serious. I only hope something can be done about it. 1 or 2 actually done about it. 1 or 2 actually... 5?
Good evening.
Oh, hi, Mr. Turner.
Oh,
Turner, how are you?
We're discussing this outrage.
Turner, how are you?
We're discussing this outrage.
One thing, the furnace bill will go down. Lots more body heat.
Now, listen, this thing is no laughing matter. I simply can't teach a class that big.
Wouldn't you know, tonight we'd have a big turnout. I hope you understood why I had to ask for that this afternoon.
I was just talking to some of the teachers. They're pretty angry.
I know. That's why I'm not going to begin until they're a little less angry and a little more sleepy. Oh, Mrs. Ruiz. Mrs. Ruiz, I want to talk to... Excuse me, Pete. I want to talk to you.
You just have to volunteer for committees, huh?
I was thinking the same thing.
See you later.
Downtown knows if there isn't any outcry, they've gotten away with it.
They've got the kids. What are they supposed to do with them? Oh, but if we don't let this thing happen, then they'll be forced to find a better way.
Pete, you're chairman of our Teaching Standards Committee. You do plan to say something, don't you?
Ladies, gentlemen, please take your seats.
Let's just see what happens.
They said the situation is only temporary.
But how long is temporary?
May I say something? That's exactly what they told us many years ago when they added 3 pupils to my class. My class of 23 students.
Miss Ogilvy objected, stating that, quote, Walt Whitman is not a prison, unquote. Mr. Sanderson made a motion, and it was decided by a vote of 67 to 48 to form a bar committee which will study the evidence.
As soon as they lapse
and
into the
make a
twilight
report.
zone, that's my chance.
However, the bar committee was tabled when only Mr. Sanderson volunteered, and the meeting was adjourned. Refreshments consisted of a delicious cupcake assortment and a punch with a frozen fruit juice base. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Jackson. And now, unless anyone has anything else to take up, it's getting late, and I think we have already come. Oh, Mr. Kaufman?
I just have a little thing, something that came up today. You all know that new housing development, the King Arthur, whatever it is. Well, it's caused serious overcrowding in the school that would normally take their students. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to take a few of their people just for the present time. But you'll all get an explanation of this thing in the mail.
Mr. Kaufman.
Mr. Dixon?
We all know that the classrooms are already overcrowded. I think we should strongly oppose the addition of any more students.
Yeah, let's do something about it. He's right. How can the board do this to us?
I don't know how the rest of you parents feel, but I'm against it. It's got to stop sometime.
Listen, Mr. Kaufman, my taxes are high enough. If you school people didn't waste money on unnecessary things, we wouldn't have to cram a whole mess of kids into one room.
How are we going to maintain the standards of this school? The next thing you know, they'll bring in double-decker desks.
There is only so much that can be done about this thing. There aren't enough classrooms. They're planning to build more.
Oh, Mr. Kaufman, they've been planning to build more for a long time.
Mr. Dixon, what's the point of all of this? The classrooms just aren't there, so what's this all about?
Well, if we don't fight this, we'll never get those classrooms.
Look, everybody, it's getting late, and this isn't getting us anywhere. I'm sorry about it all. Thank you and good night.
Maybe I call this one memorable PTA meeting.
Pete, you were fantastic. I mean, you presented your case so well that by the time you were finished, there wasn't one person in this room that didn't agree with you. Except Mr. Kaufman, of course.
It was rough on him, wasn't it?
Oh, no, I'm sure he loved every minute of it.
I think I'd better go talk to him and explain. See you. Mr. Kaufman! Mr. Kaufman? Can I speak to you a minute? I hope you understand about this.
No, I don't understand. I don't understand at all. We're still going to get those extra students, but thanks to what you did tonight, we're also going to get anger, frustration, and dissension. That's not good for this school.
But I had no choice.
Well, the way I look at it, what you did tonight was a pretty rotten thing. Once in a while, when you're in a jam, you look to a friend to help you out. I thought that's what I was doing.
But this isn't the kind of thing that you can put on a friendship basis.
Well, it's a basis I thought we were on. I guess I was wrong.
How do you like that? He just went right off the deep end. He didn't even listen to what I was saying. A rotten thing. Just because for once I didn't go along with him. Well, what do you think?
I think I'll keep my mouth shut until you cool off.
You know what I should have said? I should have said if I hadn't done some other rotten things, we'd have half-day sessions by now.
Look, I'm going in now.
If we do things his way, the next thing I know, I'll have to get permission from him to say good morning to my class.
See you tomorrow.
What do you expect me to do? Just sit there?
Good night, Pete. Go home and get some sleep.
I'm not sleepy.
Get some sleep anyway.
Yes, sir. No, I expect him very soon. Yes. Just a minute. Mr. Kaufman. Mr. Kaufman, that telephone is going crazy, and they all want to talk to you.
Refer them to Miss McIntyre, please. The polite ones. I'll take the angry but civil ones. Call the police on the obscene ones.
Yes, sir.
Bonnie. What's this? Mr. Nielsen?
Oh, he's the visual aids man. You promised you'd see him today.
Oh, that's right. Maybe 11 o'clock? Wait a minute. No, can't do 11 o'clock. Right after lunch?
And you promised Miss Barker you'd hear the Glee Club.
Oh, well, we can't miss out on that, can we? Is there anything else this afternoon?
Yes, tennis with Mr. Dixon at 4 o'clock.
Tell Mr. Nielsen, 4 o'clock, please.
That was our first debate. Here we were, a bunch of ghetto kids, right? We walk in, and they're all dressed up in suits and ties, and we look like a bunch of kids that just got through playing sandlot football.
What was your topic?
The affirmative. Is America spoiling its kids? They took one look at us, and they figured if we didn't win the cup, that we would take it anyway.
Here, Mr. Kaufman, sit here. I was just going to put in some time on the Dewey Truman campaign.
Sit down, Miss Johnson. I don't think Truman and Dewey need volunteers anymore.
No, I insist. Now, how would it look for the principal to roam around the cafeteria with no place to sit? Please, sit down before your macaroni and cheese gets cold. Okay?
Thank you, Miss Johnson.
I'll take your tray, okay?
That won't be necessary.
Oh, sure. Come on, let me take it for you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Mr. Kaufman, Pete was just telling us about his debut as a public speaker. And Mr. Dixon just fractures me.
Well, go on, Pete. Tell us the rest of it.
There's nothing.
Mr. Kaufman, what do you think of the macaroni and cheese today?
That's wonderful.
Good.
Hi. You ready?
Oh, you finished early. It's only 3:45.
Yeah. Let's go.
I can't. I'm stuck for at least a half hour with these remedial reading scores.
Can't you put them off?
No.
Okay. I'll wait.
My writing doesn't bother your pacing, does it?
No. No.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
You're still upset, aren't you?
I am not upset. Hurry up.
It's a long time to stay mad.
I'm not mad.
It doesn't bother your pacing, does it?
No. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I acted like an idiot today at lunch, right?
Well, it was.
He could have broken the ice. He's always making jokes. You could have said something funny about the food or something.
Maybe it didn't feel so funny.
Hurry up and get finished so we can get out of here.
Sure.
Or something.
Maybe it didn't feel so funny.
You do. I mean, how long are you going to go around like this?
I'm not the only one that's doing it.
Well, you said it. Kaufman's acting the same way.
Let's not forget who started it.
Do you know who? I don't. I don't even know who's right. I was in Kaufman's office when he was on the phone trying to keep Whitman from getting those extra kids. I heard him. He did everything he could.
I guess we really want the same thing, don't we?
Of course you do.
And it really doesn't matter who started it, does it?
It's how it's going to end. Somebody's got to start talking to somebody.
Do me a favor, will you?
Sure. What?
Do a little work.
You ready?
Ready.
Hi, Pete.
Oh, hi, Alice.
Do you want to go on reading, or can we talk?
Oh, you want to talk to me about something?
I have an enormous amount of respect for you, not only as a teacher, but as a person.
Gee, that's a very nice thing for you to say, Alice.
And I can't stand to see you fighting with Mr. Kaufman.
Look, Alice, it's all over.
Oh, Pete, don't say that. You two have had a really wonderful relationship. Now, if you'll just make the effort to work it out.
Hi, Pete.
Oh, hi, Mr. Kaufman.
Just checking if you want to lose at tennis again today.
How's 4 o'clock?
I think I'll let you use 2 rackets today.
Now, isn't that better?
What do you mean?
Well, doesn't it make a lot more sense for the two of you to be getting along and talking to each other? You're such good friends and you agree on almost everything. I'm glad I came in and had this talk with you.
I'm glad you did too, Alice.
After all, human relationships are just a matter of working things out. If you take the time, everything falls into place. It's just a matter of give and take, and sometimes you have to give a little more than you take.